For those of you that don't know me or don't remember me, I'm Dr. assistant for Canada. And I'm really happy to be here today, and thank you for allowing me to have service for you. So what we'll do today, we'll do the song to go, and then if you say it, and then before I do the Dharma talk, we'll do three prayers. And after the Dharma talk, announcements, all on with that. Other than that, pretty much the entirety of the service. Okay? Right. Yes.
Should we have everybody do a short one before or after?
We can do it. You can come up. We'll do a short one.
Okay.
After lunch. three treasures, please? Right, there's the treasures on page 8. Page 8. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be free from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of cultures, hard is to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Father Buddha's teaching. Namo Buddha. Namo Buddha. Namo. Well, again, thank you all for being here, and thank you for inviting me to speak with you today. Pleasure always come down and to see this group here. I'm glad to finally see some people rather than just be staring into an iPad. So it's always nice. What I'd like to do is start with our show, so please join me. What a joy it is that I, the Toku Shinran, disciple of Shakyamuni, have had a rare chance to meet with the Pure Land Scriptures of India and the commentaries by Chinese and Japanese masters, which are difficult to encounter, and have been able to hear their teachings that only rarely hear. Namo Buddha. Namo Buddha. Namo. So how have you been lately? We're making progress against the pandemic and starting to ease restrictions. That make you happy? There's still a lot of things in the world, in our country, and even in our area that cause concern. But how do these things affect your happiness? What is it exactly that would make you happy? What brings you joy? By now, many of you probably know the name Marie Kondo. She's the expert on decluttering, who's come from Japan to show America how to get more organized. She has you go through your things, and with each item, ask yourself, does this bring me joy? If the answer is yes, keep it. No, then get rid of it. Just a piece of advice on this. Don't look at your spouse or your kids or your pet while you're saying that. They don't often appreciate the answers. Anyway, Kondo talks about joy. The passage I read from Shinran at the beginning also mentioned joy. I started off talking about happiness. In Buddhism, aren't we looking for happiness that is freedom from suffering? What's the difference between happiness and joy? In her latest book, Atlas of the Heart, Brene Brown offers the following definitions. Joy is an intense feeling of deep spiritual connection, pleasure, and appreciation. Happiness is feeling pleasure often related to the immediate environment or current circumstances. But Brown also tells us that joy is sudden and short-lived, while happiness is stable, lower intensity than joy, and is more self-focused. In fact, happiness typically results from effort on our part. Joy comes from outside in. The Dalai Lama once said, I believe that the very purpose of our life is to seek happiness. It all sounds nice. Being happy is a good thing. But is it something that can be stable? But are you happy? Our minds are a great tool for us. The mind holds our memories, our knowledge, controls or reacts to our senses. In short, our minds keep us alive and it's a gatekeeper for our happiness. One of the troubles with happiness is that it can be so easily shattered. When my children were young, we were planning a trip to Disneyland. My wife and I are both big fans of Disney, so the trip was not just for the kids, and we were really looking forward to it. Before I left work for my vacation, I was telling the president of the small company I worked with about our trip. And he told me a story. Now, fair warning, this was a long time ago, prices have changed. But he had taken his family to Disney. He had young kids as well, and they had a wonderful day. On the way out of the park, his young son saw one of the fancy balloons that was being sold on Main Street, and he asked his dad to buy him a balloon. Well, Dad said no. The boy started crying. Dad tried to reason with him. We've had a whole day here. We bought you candy, ice cream, and other toys. It's time to go. You should be happy with what you've gotten. The boy cried loud. That started the daughter crying. Now no one was happy. All for a 50-cent balloon. Needless to say, when we went, the kids got the balloons on the way out of the park. Happiness may be stable, but it can also be fragile. To this day, my wife and I will look at each other at the end of the day or something, and just when somebody asks for something, we'll just look at each other and say 50 cents. Now it's the grandkids, but you know, we understand. In Buddhism, we focus a lot of our attention on suffering. The Four Noble Truths tell us that life is suffering. There's a cause for that suffering. There's a remedy for that suffering, and that the Eightfold Path is the way out of that suffering. It's pretty funny. But I don't want to talk about suffering. I want to talk about happiness. What prevents us from being happy? Generally speaking, we're not happy when we don't have something we want. We want something to work differently than it does. We want to be with someone, but we can't be with them. Or we're in a place we don't want to be. When one or more of these things are true, we think about the disparity between what we're experiencing and what we want to be experiencing. We may lament our current state or worry about when we might ever be happy, but what does that worry buy us? The answer is nothing but an ulcer. Predicting the future with complete accuracy is a fool's errand. When I taught forecasting in a business context, I told my students that there are only two kinds of forecasts, lucky and lousy. Worry about the future is just as problematic. Sometimes what we worry about are things that have happened in the past. Things that you did or didn't do, things you said or did not say. But worrying about the past is just as fruitless as worrying about the future. You can't go back in time and change anything you did or said. So why do we worry about it? This isn't a therapy session, and I'm not a therapist, so I'm not really going to get into the why, but let's look at the result of one. That is, the only real result is that it can cause your quality of life to decline. And that decline in quality of life may be specifically because there is really nothing you can do to fix the problem except to stop worrying. Can you do anything to change what happened in the past? No. Can you successfully predict exactly what will happen in the future and when? No. There's a reason why Buddhism points to living in the here and now. The only time in which you can do anything is now. The only time in which you can live is now. But we also don't want to get trapped in the life advice that is sometimes popular in saying. For instance, I've heard people say that you should live with no regrets. I couldn't disagree more. Living with no regrets implies that we have nothing to learn from our past. It robs us of the opportunity to reflect on our past behavior and removes our motivation to make amends with people we hurt and to learn from our mistakes. It's just part of being human. Living in the present takes away our need to worry about what could or should have happened or what could or should happen in the future. If you want to change the past, stop. If you want to change the future, then change your situation, change your point of view. The key part of being happy is to be content with what you have and who you are today. Contentment could be viewed as a goal. the good and the bad news is there's nothing about what you have or what you are that has to change in order for you to be content. The only thing that has to change is your outlook on life. Brene Brown defines contentment as a feeling of completeness, appreciation, and enoughness that we experience when our needs are satisfied. The 14th Dalai Lama said, when you are discontent, you will always want more, more, more. Your desire can never be satisfied. But when you practice contentment, you can say to yourself, oh yes, I already have everything I need. Note that the Dalai Lama did say, I already have everything I need. He did not say everything I want. And that's a big gap that we have to understand. We've gone from happiness in this box to contentment, and that brings us to another topic that's central to Buddhism, and that's gratitude. Many of our teachings focus on gratitude. We talk about being grateful for Amida Buddha's compassionate vow. We thank our teachers for guiding us in our education. We were taught to be grateful to our parents for providing us and helping us grow up to be responsible members of society. But we should also be grateful for everything we have. This is especially tough here in Silicon Valley. This is one of the most prosperous places in the world. We're surrounded by wealth, opulence, and successful people. It's no wonder that any of us who grew up here would be caught up in the more and more and more cycle. And I'm no stranger to that cycle. For many years, I was an active member of the club with the slogan, he who dies with the most toys wins. But I too learned that these things may bring fleeting joy, but they're rarely lasting. Gratitude may be the most important element of true happiness. We even have a gospel that we sing frequently called Ingratitude. You know it. The debt of gratitude I owe to Alita's great compassion. I will proclaim until my life disintegrates into dust. The debt of gratitude I owe to my darling teachers. I will express until my bodily form is finally shattered. If you don't recognize it, that's the English translation of English. Please join me in Josh. May all beings be happy. May the causes of their suffering be removed. May they always be joyful. And may they all remain in the state that I can. Namo. Namo. Namo.